Thanks for tuning in. This is SECCA Round 5, the Windwood Farms Harescramble in Plantersville, Alabama on May 15, 2021. My bike started right up and I stalled it. Dang it. Well, I guess I'm starting last. This bike is starting really well now, but restarting after stalling is still not perfect. I also didn't take the time to put it back in neutral, so that delayed the restart a bit too. Anyway, I'm on my 2021 Yamaha YZ250FX for this moto. This race is a 2-moto format, meaning we'll race 2 separate races, each 1 hour long with a 1 hour break between. Brought both bikes with me today, so I plan to race my KTM 250 XCW in the second moto so I can compare lap times, etc. I'm currently in 8th place. That's Tommy Jinks on the Yamaha in front of me and Travis Harmon on the Kawasaki in front of him. Tommy let me by there and I moved up to 7th. I'm feeling pretty good on the Yamaha today. The last time I raced it, it was right after I bought it and I was having trouble adjusting to the engine braking and the suspension was way too stiff for me. I got some time on the bike now and I've got more accustomed to the engine, and I got my suspension softened up with springs for my weight and much softer valving. So other than my crappy start, I'm feeling pretty good about my race at this point. Mike Rogers went down in the turn there, so that puts me in 6th place. A few turns later, Mike gets back by me, so I'm back in 7th. This is an awesome course today, and while it's a little dusty out in the grass track areas, the dirt is perfect in the woods. It's about a 5-mile course of mostly tight woods racing. Windwood Farms is owned by the Deloach family, and they do a great job every year with this race. They always have everything set up very well and organized well. The course is always marked extremely well and flows nicely. This was a split start race, meaning that the A and B classes race separately from the C class and beginner class. In this moto, we have about 150 bikes on a 5-mile course, so it is a bit crowded and the woods are thick, so traffic was thick too. But that's good for somebody like me that needs more practice passing in tight situations. Come on, Mike! There's Mike Rogers again. Now I'm in 6th place. So I got by my friend Andrew Caldarello there in the orange gear on the Honda. Sorry about the elbow, Andrew. Now I'm in 5th place. At the end of the first lap, I'm in 5th place in my class. The top 8 guys in the class were all within 17 seconds of each other at this point. There goes Tommy Jinks on the outside, so now I'm back in 6th. friend Craig Chappell on the inside. He's not in my class, so I don't want to hold him up. He's leading the C50 class at this point. Oh, I see a hotline. I didn't pick up any positions there, but I got back past Craig. Trying to find a line around this guy, and Mike gets by me again, so now I'm 7th. I'm struggling with my hands going numb at this point. I don't typically have that problem on my KTM, so I got to figure out the handlebar setup or what's causing that issue on this bike. Mike had a bobble there and I almost got by him, but Andrew gets by us both, so now I'm in 8th. At the end of the second lap, I'm in 8th place. There's Tommy Jinx taking a quick break. Now I'm in 7th. Hold on, stop the video for a minute. That's Andrew Hicks. He's a big fan of the channel. He's always cheered me on, and I had a chance to talk to him at the Miller Creek race. You're right. Andrew's a big fan of dirt biking with Donnie and Chase, aren't you? Yeah. What's the last race you raced?
Tree Farm.
Tree Farm, how'd you do there?
I got 7th.
7th. What class do you race? Pre-Team B? What bike do you ride?
65.
KX65 Kawasaki. Awesome. Well, I enjoyed talking to you today. Anything else you want to say to YouTube? Awesome. Thank you, buddy. I finished the first moto in 7th place. I'm not really happy about that, but the top 7 in my class were only separated by 1 minute and 20 seconds. So it's an extremely competitive class. Looking at my lap times on the YZ250FX, my first lap was 20 minutes 48 seconds, my second lap was 21 minutes 6 seconds, and my third lap was 20 minutes 52 seconds. I really think the bad start hurt me in this moto, and that wasn't the fault of the bike at all. It started right up, but I stalled it. This course is really tight with only a few places to pass, and I got passed a couple of times in the grass track when I was dealing with numb hands. For that moto, it wasn't my best performance, so let's move on to Moto 2 and see how I do on the KTM. Okay, so much better start that time, and I'm second behind Raven in the first turn. gets around me on the outside there, and yeah, I need to work on my turns out in the open. I rarely ride open stuff, and I need to practice that more. There goes Chris Walter, so now I'm in 4th place. So Chris stalled his bike in this turn and Mike stuck there behind him in the rut. So now I'm back in 2nd place. So I spent several minutes trying to get around this guy on the number 251 Yamaha, and that allowed Chris and Mike to catch back up with me. I finally got around him here.
Thank you.
There goes Andrew Caldarello. I'm not sure where he came from, but now I'm in 3rd. At the end of the first lap, I'm in 3rd place with Raven and Andrew ahead of me. Raven is a minute ahead of us, and 2nd through 7th place are all grouped together with only 7 seconds separating us. The scoring shows Chris ahead of me in 3rd place at this point, but he was actually just behind me. But now he's ahead of me and I'm in 4th place. Mike Rogers snuck in on me there, and now I'm in 5th place. Mike goes down, so I'm back in 4th. Finally seeing a little open trail here. Let's go. There goes Travis Harmon on the KDX. He kind of caught me off guard because I didn't realize he was in my class. I'd never met him before. Now I'm in 5th place. There goes Mike Rogers. Now I'm in 6th.
Thanks, Drew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So at the end of lap 2, I'm in 6th place. There's Andrew Caldarello. He stopped to take a quick dirt sample, and I'm able to get past him. Now I'm in 5th place.
Thanks, sir.
I don't know who that is, but I can tell you that when you're in the 6th lap of the day, a little extra encouragement is always welcome. Thank you. There's Mike Rogers, so now I'm in 4th place. I spent the rest of the last lap chasing Travis Harmon on the KDX, but never got by him. I finished the second moto in 4th place for a combined 5th place for the day. Looking at the lap times on my KTM 250X EW, my first lap was 21 minutes 4 seconds, my second lap was 20 minutes 57 seconds, and my third lap was my fastest lap of the day at 20 minutes 30 seconds. That last lap time was really just because there was much less traffic than all the previous laps. Here we're looking at my total times for each moto. For Moto 1 on the YZ250FX, I completed 3 laps in 1 hour, 2 minutes, 46 seconds. For Moto 2 on the KTM 250X EW, I completed 3 laps in 1 hour, 2 minutes, 31 seconds. I was 15 seconds faster on the KTM, but that was likely due to a much less crowded course late in the race. I think I could have finished a couple of positions higher in Moto 1 had I got a better start. I think I learned some things from racing the 2 different bikes in this race, but I don't really think it was conclusively decided between one bike or the other. I do think I'm going to try some different handlebars on the YZ250FX because I noticed the stock bars have more sweep than the bars on my KTM, so I'll change those out to see if that helps with the numb hands on the YZ250FX. I also plan to keep racing both bikes depending on the situation and the race location. We're now about halfway through the 2021 season, so it's time to start looking at points, but I don't really like to look at this too much until the drops are applied. Closer to the end of the season, the 2 lowest scores for each rider will get dropped. I always look at it through that lens anyway, and it would look quite a bit different if the drops were applied today. Anyway, this video was longer than my usual race recap, so let me know in the comments if you like the video being longer, if you prefer the recaps under 10 minutes. Many thanks to the Deloach family and everyone who worked hard to make this event a success. It was great fun as always, and I can't wait to come back to Windwood Farms. If you enjoyed this race recap video and want to see more like it, please subscribe, and it really helps me out when you hit that like button. Thanks for watching.